What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your weekend. It is Friday after all when I'm filming this, and today we're going to go over the entire house of Argos and every single fragrance they've done so far. And I figured this would be a great time before they drop their two new fragrances coming out here in February. We have a marine oceanic based fragrance, I believe it's Neptune's Trident, that's coming out, and also La Primavera, which is more of a green. It's supposed to represent a mythical garden. So I can't wait for both of those to drop. I know you guys heard me in the comments a long time ago wondering when Argos is going to do like a Poseidon or Neptune based oceanic fragrance, hopefully with some real ambergris in there. And of course they have delivered, and I don't work with Argos in that sort of capacity. I just review their fragrances. So obviously they were listening to me. Maybe Christian Petrovic was watching some of my videos, but in all honesty, with the portfolio they have, I was certainly expecting a blue fragrance because that, of course, is one of the most popular fragrance DNAs out there. So to start off, we got Pour Femme and Pour Homme. Not to just gloss over these, they are terrific fragrances, but in my opinion, they are more geared toward the youth and definitely a great introduction to the house. Pour Homme is really nice. It's got like some botanical gin notes. But for me, Pour Femme was actually even a little bit better on my skin personally. Both very versatile fragrances, great for office wear, even first dates. You know, it's not something that is too challenging, but it's also going to be very pleasing for a lot of people. So both of those are very good. And yeah, now we're going to get to the kind of like the core lineup of Argos. So the only 30 ml bottle that I have in the entire lineup was the first bottle that I ever bought from Argos because I wanted to try the house. And it is a 30 ml of Brevido dell'Acacia. And guys, you want to talk about beautiful green leather fragrances. It's got some juniper berry in there. Leather. I mean, it's just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful fragrance. In my opinion, this goes best in spring or summer. Definitely appropriate for those types of situations. It's also something that is very, pleasing. It's something that could absolutely be worn whether you're in a close proximity, like a meeting or an office or something. And it's also something that is a fresh fragrance that, even if you're going for a hike or a walk or something like that and you want to immerse yourself in that green type of fragrance smell, Brevido dell'Acacia is actually what got me into the House of Argos. So there's a lot of credit to this fragrance and how good it is, because I don't think I would have all these other bottles here in front of me unless I've tried Brevido dell'Acacia first. And I know one of my subscribers, their introduction to the house was Danae. That's another one of my favorite fragrances from them. So you can kind of get the feeling of, everything from Argos is very well thought out, but they are very, very unique fragrances to where some are going to appeal more than others. So it just really depends on the nose, situation, time of year, all those sorts of things. So we'll go with one of their latest releases. I don't really have these in any order. It's not a ranking video, just kind of going over them and giving you an idea of what this house has to offer. So Charon's Veil, depending on how you want to say it. It's a very, very resinous, warm, spicy floral fragrance. Not overly floral, so if you're a guy, definitely don't be afraid to wear this because it's going to get you a lot of compliments. Definitely more of a Middle Eastern influence, of course, with the rose, oud, and saffron. One thing here is with the oud, not very animalic, which is very good if you want a very wearable, clean oud. It's not that barnyard, animalic, super dank, like earthy type of smell. Just very warming, very pleasing, extrait concentration, so it's good to go no matter what time of year. I know a lot of people are saying this is more of a winter fragrance, but with the extrait concentration and the fact that it's not overly dense and it doesn't have too much of that, typical oud profile that some people associate, it is more of that cleaner oud. I can't wait to wear this one in spring or summer personally. So next we got Love Triumphs Over War. Very, very floral fragrance, guys, and I absolutely like it. It is a little bit more challenging for me, especially as a guy, to get into these types of fragrances. But if you've seen my video on the most complimented from the House of Argos, Love Triumphs Over War is actually number one, which kind of shocks me because it's not personally my favorite in terms of how my nose and my style kind of leans. It is a little bit more masculine in the base notes as it dries down. You got some raspberry, and I believe it's blackberry or blueberry cassis in the top notes as well. So you get a fruity, floral, slightly powdery type of vibe to it. But the musk and some of the other notes in the base really kind of blend this out. and calm it down once it goes on skin. And the dry down is absolutely amazing, and also extremely powerful fragrance. Most of these, in fact all of them, last a very long time and project, but this one in particular, maybe it's just all the florals or the cinnamon bark or whatever it is in there, but this fragrance in particular for me is very, very powerful. So next one, Fall of Phaeton. You guys already know, again, who've watched my videos, if you've seen my reviews on them, Fall of Phaeton was actually my personal favorite from the house. And it's hard to rank them because it is situational. It depends on the time of year. But guys, you almost get 3 different fragrances with this. You have the ginger, lemon, some nice fruity, citrus, spicy notes up top. Absolutely gorgeous. And you have the agar wood as a mid note. So you do get some oud in here as well. But it's really the leather, vanilla, musk, and tonka, and some of the other ingredients. I believe it has labdanum, or maybe one of those other resinous kind of floral notes in there. And man, it's absolutely incredible. You really do, as you spray that fragrance on from the top, middle, to the base, it just really does transform. You truly get 3 fragrances, and I've always said this, this fragrance in particular, Fall of Phaeton, it does a great job of kind of telling that story of the Fall of Phaeton. It starts off kind of bright, happy, then it goes kind of into a downward spiral as he falls. So, and in a lot of ways, it was really created by Christian Petrovic, not just to make a fragrance that good, but for something that truly does tell a story, which all these fragrances are geared towards. But I think Fall of Phaeton, in my opinion, does it the best. So let me know what you think in the comments about that one. Birth of Venus, another one. A little bit, not really like Love Triumphs Over War because it doesn't smell the same, but it does lean a little bit more feminine, floral, fruity, gourmand. There's not a whole lot you need to know about this one other than it's absolutely incredible. And if you're a guy that is a little bit hesitant to buy this or wear it because it may lean more feminine, you are missing out on a great fragrance and a lot of compliments, because this one, every single time I wear it, somebody seems to say something to me. Has a nice kind of salted, dark chocolate sort of note to it. Got some very nice fruit and floral notes in the middle, in the top. It's just everything you want in that category of fragrance is in Birth of Venus. So one of my personal favorite from the house, and this one is not going to be for everybody, but for me personally, Danae. Very warm, citrus, woody fragrance, very bright. Oh my goodness. Man, it's hard to tell what the best time of year to wear Danae is because it really seems to go well in any type of situation. You can see the color on here, how well it's aged in the bottle. If you have a little bit different color of Danae, don't worry about it. It's natural oils. There's no dyes or anything in these fragrances, so that is part of the aging process. I've seen Danae a couple different colors, and I think that is just, of course, dependent on the release and the age of it. So really appreciate that from the fact of Argos' perspective, that they don't put any mineral oil, dyes, parabens, phthalates, UV fillers, anything like that in their fragrances. So very forward-thinking and conscious and health conscious, and also I think at the end of the day it delivers a better and cleaner product. So next one of their newest releases as well from the previous year in 2024, along with Charon's Veil. This is Sacred Flame. Guys, this is ridiculous. Regardless of oil concentration, extrait, non-extrait, eau de parfum, in my opinion, this is one of the strongest fragrances in their entire lineup. Peach, tangerine, lots of citrus, fruits, and spice up top. Bit of a resinous and gourmand kind of base to it. You got vanilla, tonka, bunch of different resins in there. I believe it's got frankincense or labdanum, sort of similar sort of thing there. But very warm, resiny, citrus type of fruits going on again with the peach, the tangerine. This one is absolutely killer, especially for fall time, guys. It's unbelievably good. Definitely one of my new favorite fragrances, not just from their new releases, but definitely one of my favorites from the entire house. So now if you want a good rose fragrance, they got quite a few from the House of Argos, but in my opinion, one of the best ones is Adonis Awakens. Guys, it's actually got the note of rose twice in here. It's got some chestnut, vanilla, raspberry. The main structure of this fragrance to me is the sandalwood and the rose. A lot more going on than that. Very complex, sweet without being overly sweet. Very rosy and floral, again, without being overly floral. These are one of those types of fragrances, Similar to Birth of Venus, not really in how they smell, but if you're thinking as a guy that you may not want to wear that, or you're going to skip over it because it leans a little bit more feminine, because that's what the notes suggest, it's a mistake. Adonis Awakens is going to be one of your most complimented fragrances. So really good stuff from the House of Argos. One of the best rose fragrances, not just from the house, but in my entire collection, and that says a lot. So now, Pallas Athene. This fragrance, the red berries in here, the florals, it's very clean, very elegant. I just don't know really how to describe this in words to portray to you guys. You just got to try it. Very, very, in my opinion, it's unisex. In my opinion, maybe even a little bit more unisex than Adonis Awakens and Birth of Venus. For me, the red berry note along with the rose in here is so powerful. Beautiful, floral mid note and some at the top as well. This is absolutely insane. This is a little bit of a newer one for me in terms of the bottle, and I'm going to be wearing it a lot during spring or summer this year. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. I can see why this is a lot of people's favorite from the house. It doesn't get spoken about as much as it should, but in a lot of ways it's kind of a good thing, because that maybe means that maybe not a lot of people are wearing it, so you'll certainly stand out wearing Pallas Athene here. Now the next two fragrances are the same fragrances. We have the regular Triumph of Bacchus, which is a real nice dent in it here, at least for all that I have in my collection. And then you have the Extrait, which if you hear Christian Petrovic talk about this, the Triumph of Bacchus Extrait, same exact formula as the regular Triumph of Bacchus. Now this one projects and lasts really long for me. The Extrait just takes that to an entirely different level, guys. I mean, I'm talking 24 hours plus of longevity with the 40% concentration. It's already a heavy fragrance by structure anyway. Triumph of Bacchus, you got vetiver, tonka, musk, tobacco, saffron, rum, green apple, peach. There's a lot of other ingredients I left out of there, but that's the main components on the Triumph of Bacchus, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that this is by far and away their best-selling fragrance of the house. It is also one of their original releases, so it's a little bit older, so that would also kind of play into that factor as compared to the new ones. But this is just, women seem to love this as well, and I can see why with that fruity opening with the peach and the green apple. Absolutely gorgeous stuff here. Now, one of my favorite fragrances from the house that I just wore about a week ago is Baccio Immortale. Raspberry and leather. And that's not all you need to know about it, but from the entrance of the fragrance, that is really what you're going to get. Just a beautiful raspberry leather, clean leather too, not an animalic leather. It is very, very clean, almost like a new car type of smell without being that overpowering or cloying. It's just unbelievable stuff. My favorite part about this fragrance, by far, as good as the opening is, the dry down of this is ridiculous, guys. The birch, oud, musk, vanilla gives it a woody, creamy, and again, the oud in here, it's not what you would think, something like a Neiman lime, which we'll go over next. The oud in here is more of a clean oud, similar to maybe what you would find in Charon's Veil. I can't get enough of the dry down. Huge projection and longevity out of this one as well. You can kind of see the dent in the bottle there, again, for my collection and everything that I have in my collection. It's a pretty good dent in the bottle for only having that about 1.5 to 2 years. Very proper fragrance that's versatile. Again, something that's really good to wear on like a date night. It's not too intrusive to where you couldn't wear it to an office or at a meeting or something to where you're in close proximity. Date night, you're going to get tons of compliments on this from women. And even women, don't be afraid to leather fragrances, especially this one, because it's not too animalic. I think a lot of women would like this one as well, just because of that gorgeous raspberry note in there. So, last but not least, guys, I didn't want to make this like a 30-minute long video. Probably could have spent a little bit more time in each of these, but I wanted to really kind of go over the video for you guys and describe each one to give you a better idea of the fragrances. And Neiman Lion, by far the most unique one from the house in my opinion. In fact, it is so unique that Christian Petrovic put a warning label on this. So, not really for younger noses, probably too animalic for a lot of people to understand or enjoy. People who love those types of fragrances, this is probably going to be one of their new favorite ones. Very green fragrance as well. You see a lot of green notes in the top of this fragrance, but what it comes down to for me, the animalic leather and the oud and some of the wood notes in here, absolutely sublime. Kind of reminds me of like a very old fancy church, if you guys have ever toured, you know, pre-medieval and like some of those types of churches where you really get a very sweet, resiny, slightly animalic wood smell without it being too overpowering. This fragrance here, guys, I've always said with Neiman Lion, it's one of those fragrances when you wear this as a man, you don't even have to turn around to see the man in the room. He walks in, you can smell this fragrance, and you already know it's a man walking into the room. It's not like some of these fragrances which are more unisex, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it also is very good to have in a lineup, something that is pure class, pure masculine, and something that absolutely appeals to men and is a little bit more of, dare I say, a retro fragrance, to where Neiman Lion is just unapologetic. You know, it doesn't care if you like it or not. It's going to be for those people that enjoy that type of fragrance. And if you enjoy those types of fragrances in this category, this is probably going to be one of your new favorite ones. And it is batch dependent. You see it going in and out of stock. I don't know how many releases they've done so far. Maybe Argos could comment on that if they're watching this video. But I think it's been about 3 or 4 releases of Neiman Lion so far. And very good on them, because I know Christian was waiting a long time after listening to him speak about it. He wasn't really happy with the ingredients that he was getting, and he wasn't able to get the type of quality ingredients that he wanted for Neiman Lion. So instead of releasing a subpar product, he just waited. He just waited to get what he was happy with to complete the fragrance how he saw it fit. And forever may it be that way at Argos, because I think we need a lot more of that in the fragrance community, where things are not rushed out, things are done the correct way. And I think with that, you build a lot of trust with your consumer base, knowing that they're not just going to rush a release out because they want money or because they just have a date and they're going to release it regardless. They'll push release dates back if it's not right and they're not happy with the product. And hopefully they'll continue to do that. So quality control, packaging, presentation, all 10 out of 10 for me from the House of Argos. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this kind of maybe answered a little bit of questions. If you're new to the House of Argos and are maybe wondering what you might like from the house, you know, what do they offer? What are the difference in some of the fragrances? So again, can't wait for the new 2 fragrances releases here. I think it's early February, but again, that's not really a set in stone date, but it does seem like from their website, early February when those 2 new launches are going to be. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll review them for you when they come out, and I'll see you guys soon.